What's up, everyone? With the player base becoming increasingly older, I figured now would be the best time for a video like this. I'm going to be going over my most favorite AFK methods to train for each skill within this game, if there are any. The requirements are very simple for this. The tasks simply cannot be click intensive, and some of these might even be hands-free. First up, we have magic. By far the most AFK training method for this skill would be splashing, and this is essentially where you have a negative enough magic bonus that your attacks inflict no damage. Simply wear the gear that I'm showing and find a weak opponent such as the seagulls here, have your auto retaliate on the spell of your choice, click once and you're good to go for 15 minutes. Next up, we have our general combat skills, so strength, attack, and defense. If you've ever made a pure, you are already familiar with this method, and it's going to be killing the highest level crabs available to you. So if you're a pure or a restricted account, chances are you'll be stuck at sand crabs, but if you are a main and you have the necessary quest completed, you can move over to ammonite crabs. The plus versus minus here is the sand crabs are more accessible, however, it is a lot more busy there than it is at ammonite crabs. Moving forward, we have prayer. For this method, all you'll need to do is have a house in Remington and be able to access World 330. So you'll simply teleport outside of Remington on World 330, and you'll go over to the posted bulletin with all the community houses listed. You'll simply choose one and you will go to the gilded altar as shown. Now we have Runecrafting. This will require you to go to the area pictured and mine the materials pictured before finishing them off at the altar. Now we are going to be taking a look at agility. The only real AFK method for this skill is barbarian fishing, which is a combination of fishing and agility and gives you experience for both, although the XP rates are quite low. So you'll simply need to teleport to the barbarian outpost and then run south. Once you get there, you'll see other people fishing, and it's important that you meet the strength requirements before you start doing this. Otherwise, you will be unable to receive the necessary fishing rod from Otto at the barbarian outpost to be able to complete this. Now we have construction, which is just not AFK whatsoever, unfortunately. I would recommend the quickest method that you can afford. A lot of people like to do mahogany tables. Now we have herblore, which varies depending on level. Any type of simple potion making that you can bank stand and do is good here. I say highest level because that'll be the most efficient for you, most likely XP wise, but if cost is a factor, you'll want to take a look at the market at that time and figure out what works best for you. 14 and 14 is basically whatever potions you can make where it's equal parts one and one other thing to fill your inventory. Makes this much more convenient, and you can essentially set the setting for how much you take out of something from your bank by setting a custom amount on the bank tab. Alright guys, now we have thieving. My favorite AFK thieving method is Ardoin Nights, so teleport to Ardoin and go to the bank pictured in the video, and I would say hop to a world until you find an Ardoin Knight trapped in the bank, as you can see here in the video. There are clan chats for this. I think Thieving Host is one, where they usually have someone set up on a world splashing this knight so it doesn't move. Super AFK, super convenient when it's set up like this. You literally just stand and click. Moving forward, we have crafting. If you've ever made an Iron Man before, you're probably familiar with this method, but the most AFK friendly method is simply glass blowing. This can be very cost effective, and if one of your main concerns is XP rates, go ahead and just do the highest level glass available to you. Let's go over fletching. Go ahead and make arrow shafts until you can make longbows, and then all you need to do is make the highest level longbows available to you, all the way up to magic longbows, and you'll even make a little bit of profit here. Now we take on the favorite skill of many, which is Slayer. Slayer is dependent on the level of the player, very much so. So there's a couple things that I look for with AFK tasks for Slayer, depending on your level. You want to look for something where you can just pretty much put auto retaliate on and take minimal damage from whatever you are fighting. This is something that's low intensity clicks, so you click once in a while, look at the screen once in a while, you're not too worried about PKers and things like this. And you want to look out for something where you can use a cannon. That always helps with the AFK aspect of things. Unfortunately, fire making is one of those skills where it's just not AFK, and I would recommend the good old boring wintertop method of training this skill. Now we are at mining. By far the most AFK method for this skill would be the shooting stars. If there's a low player count at these, you can go for up to, I've seen 2 hours on one shooting star, so very, very AFK, and quite enjoyable too. A lot of people like using these. The only catch here is that they can be hard to find, so there are discords and clan chats that point them out for players. However, typically with these there are more players at these rocks, so they are a little less AFK. With smithing, one of the most AFK methods is just traditional anvil smithing. I like the anvils in Borok, the traditional anvils, just because they are placed conveniently next to a bank. Also, there will be other players here, so if you're ever looking for people to talk to or even sell some items for a profit, they will be here. Now we have fishing, and the simple answer here would be karambwans for the speed that they take between each catch and the fact that there is a spot that never moves. So you're just clicking on the same spot over and over again, and there is a long time in between catches, making this extremely AFK. Now we have cooking, and again here it's going to be one of the more traditional methods. It's definitely not the most efficient method, but one of the more laid back AFK methods with cooking is just cooking over a standard fire. Now, if you go to Hosidius, you can have the fire that is never put out, or you can go to high populated worlds and people will make fires for you. We find ourselves at another one of those skills that's just not AFK. If you are going to train this skill though, I would recommend just getting chinchampas. You can make a lot of money here through these, and personally I think the pet is really cool. So that's it for Hunter, not really AFK. I'd recommend chinchampas. For woodcutting, by far the most AFK method is cutting redwood trees. Unfortunately with these you don't unlock it until 94 woodcutting, but for how AFK they are, it's really a good experience rate and a good pet chance here. As mentioned, it is a high level to be able to cut these, so if you don't have them unlocked yet, another alternative AFK method is cutting magic logs, although it's not very good XP wise. Now we have farming, which is the most AFK skill in the game. What I like doing for farming as a good balance between a high XP rate and good AFK-ness is planting trees. Now, the best XP rates here are always going to be planting the highest level trees available to you, but if you are worried about cost, you might have to settle for one of the lower level trees. And it should be noted that the higher level tree, the longer it takes. So more AFK. That's going to do it for this one, guys, and if you enjoyed this video, it would help me out immensely if you would consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe let me know in the comments below what type of content you'd like to see if you enjoyed this video. But yeah, thanks again, guys. I look forward to the next one. Peace out.